You say that you at one time was a Muslim, right?
Well, I was raised in a Muslim family, but they were very progressive. My father still considers himself a Muslim, even though he doesn't follow like the 5 pillars or whatever. He never went to Hajj or anything. And my mother is probably not. My mother's not very religious.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is Islam a religion?
Yes.
It is.
It's one of the 3 Abrahamic religions, as far as I know.
And is it a religion of peace?
Yes.
Well, why do they chop off people's head and hold women back and throw homosexuals from the rooftops and?
Like, no hesitation. He's like, "Are they peaceful?" And he's like, "Of course." Well, then why they cut people's heads off? And he's like, "Target them."
And they want to take over other countries. And they even say you can lie. They can say you can lie to the Christians.
Can we just pause for a brief moment?
Yeah.
You want to tell me about your personal black experience and use that as empirical evidence, as fact. But when I try to tell you about Muslims, you're like, nope, that doesn't work that way. I have my own perspective. If you have actual evidence to back up your claims, then we could have a conversation. Maybe I could describe where you are confused.
How about Allahu Akbar?
This means God is great.
Right, when they're about to kill you, blow you up, or chop off your head, or make sure women don't drive, or cut off their private parts. And
how about
in the name of Allahu Akbar. I rest my case.
Christianity has far more bodies.
That's not true.
Absolutely true.
No.
Okay, well then answer me this question then. When George W. Bush said, "God told me to invade Iraq and Afghanistan," why do we not consider that a Christian genocide, the war in Iraq and Afghanistan?
Because that was just one person, but Christianity is for all.
One person.
I mean, but
what about a lot of the military members who
I bet you would not go back to your country and say, "I'm no longer a Muslim." They'll kill you.
No, they wouldn't.
Yes, they would.
You have no idea about Turkey, do you, sir? No,
well,
Turkey.
You wouldn't go to the Muslim and tell them that.
Turkey currently has a. Well, first of all, Turkey's a secular democratic republic.
Well, you may can go to Turkey, but you wouldn't go to a Muslim country and
Turkey
tell
is
them.
a Muslim country. It's
you wouldn't say
98% Muslim.
You would not say that I'm no longer Muslim.
I say it all the time.
Not to them.
Yes, I do.
Amazing.
There are plenty of atheists or there are plenty of agnostic Turkish people, and there are plenty of progressive Muslims who don't subscribe to a lot of the things that you're mentioning. As a matter of fact, the overwhelming majority of Muslims are not a part of the monolith, the picture that you're trying to paint all of Islam as.
I would never trust Islam.
You would never trust Islam.
I would never.
A lot of fundamentalists, a lot of the extremists that you're talking about have similar perspectives to you.
They have been taught to lie to the infidels, and I'm a Christian.
Do you think homosexuality is a sin?
Infidel.
Do you think homosexuality is bad?
It's not good.
It's not good. What would you do about it?
Show them how to overcome.
Okay.
And
what if they're like, I don't want to overcome. I want to kiss a man.
Then let them suffer and die. That's their business.
Okay, that's a very fundamentalist perspective, not dissimilar to ISIS, though.
Just don't impose it on us. I didn't say we would kill them.
That's not dissimilar to what a lot of Muslims think, though.
ISIS would kill them, but I said let them suffer and die.
As a matter of fact,
because people have a right to suffer and die.
As a matter of fact, if we were to look at data, okay?
We can Muslims, you can't believe data. Liberals lie.
Can't believe data.
Liberals lie, man.
Why?
Because
how would you live your life?
The reason that they lie.
If you don't actually look at studies, or if you don't actually look at empirical evidence, then all we have a conversation is your personal feelings versus my personal feelings.
Is that not what every news article is now? Is someone's objective perception on how they're writing it to give you an image that you can take and have on that person? So you saying that you're not listening to one person because they have the same views as this side is just showing the same thing.
Feelings. Now, that could be an entertaining conversation, but that doesn't necessarily mean we're having a conversation about the truth.
Do you believe that black people are victims?
It depends on the individual
and
the circumstances.
You believe some blacks are victims?
I mean, everyone has the capacity to be a victim of
the
system. I think all people are victims of the system that we live under.
How about black people?
Black people would be encompassed under all. There's exploitation happening at every level.
How about blacks?
I already said that. They're under all people, right?
Do you believe black people are victims?
I think that black people, just like white people, are all victims of the same system that we live under.
Do you believe that black people are victims?
Do you not understand? I'm saying yes. I'm answering your question. It's not like a gotcha question.
So do you believe
as long as I elaborate.
Do you believe that black people are victims?
I already answered your question.
I didn't hear it. Can you give me an answer?
I said black people, just like all Americans, all people.
I didn't ask about all. I only asked about one group.
Why is the framing so narrow?
Because
why can't
we
have an
what you
interesting
think
conversation about it rather than a yes and no?
So do you believe that black people are victims?
I already told you what I believe.
Well, I didn't ask you about all, though. I only asked about one group.
I said just like all people.
I didn't
black
ask
people
about just like all. Do you believe that black people are victims?
Of what?
Period.
Of what?
Period. Anything. Do you believe they're victims
anything?
at all?
They have the capability to be victims, yes.
Are they victims?
But of what?
You're not going to answer that, right?
No. I can. I just need you to further elaborate.
Are you an American citizen?
I am an American citizen.
And do you love black people?
I do.
You do.
I love all people.
Do you support the big, beautiful wall going around the borders?
I don't. I think it's really silly.
I thought you loved black.
Are you going to now, is this the point of the interview where you tell me that undocumented citizens that come into the country actually go to urban areas where a lot of black people live and therefore hurt black people's economic opportunities?
So my question is, if you are for
It's not a question. I already gave you your talking point. I'm very familiar with where you're taking
You said no, you're not for the wall, right?
I am not for the wall.
And so when the illegal aliens come into our country, they end up in urban areas. They don't end up in your community and the Democrats community, the liberal.
Do you know what community I live in? What if I live in an urban community?
The children of the lie communities, right?
The children of the lie community.
And so
I love that.
And so they affect black people first and foremost by taking their jobs, bringing in drugs and crime, running blacks out of their own community.
Do they? Do you have any evidence for this?
I lived there for a while. I have family members living there.
That's anecdotal evidence.
I have people who attend my organization, church, who live there, and I work there. I do work there. And
what if I were to tell you that any of the studies that have conducted don't show anything that you're referencing, though? Would you say that those studies are lies again?
They're running blacks out of their own communities. The schools are overpopulated with illegal aliens.
This is a consequence of poverty in general.
And when the black women go to these hospitals to have their out of wedlock babies, they can't even get into the county facilities because of illegal aliens. Do you care that blacks are being affected first and foremost by illegal aliens? Does that bother you?
I mean, I would care if that was the reality, but that is not.
That is the reality, because if you think about it, you have people who busted their hump, sacrificed, did all this stuff, and yet they're living on the street, and illegal migrants get a house, food, benefits, and they came in here illegally, cutting the line, but getting all the benefits.
Not the reality.
Does that bother you first?
But that's not the reality.
So are you?
That's like saying, do you care that
are you
black people don't get unicorns? I mean, it doesn't matter what I care, whether I care or not. It's not real.
Are you denying that this is happening because you don't care?
It's not that I'm denying it. I'm saying that it's not happening.
Is it because you don't care? You pretend like it doesn't happen?
No, it's not. But I can tell you what's actually happening if you'd like to hear
it.
I'm
asking, like to hear in a minute, but
in a minute.
You're not bothered by it because you don't care?
But this is improper framing. And I'm sure you're familiar with this because other guests that have been on your show that I'm good friends with have also told you that this is improper framing. This is similar to saying, have you stopped beating your wife, yes or no?
Are you pretending that it's not happening because you don't care?
Again, this is the same kind of question that already presupposes the...
Who are your friends that have been on this show?
David Packman, Kyle Kalinske, Stephen Bonnell, Destiny, he was on recently.
Amazing. So those are your friends?
Yeah, I know a lot of them, yeah. All of them. They're great.
And
by the way, let me just say, I really respect that you are not like the rest of the cowardly conservatives who refuse to actually sit down and have a conversation with someone that has a different perspective. For example, Ben Shapiro and Steven Crowder and even Dave Rubin consistently evade and dodge every other person. And like I said, I love that you are open-minded enough to at least have these sorts of conversations and expose your audience to a new perspective.
So,
Amazing.
so you pretend that blacks are not affected first and foremost by illegal aliens coming into the country
Again,
by pretending that
but
it's
that's
not happening, right?
You're already sneaking the conclusion that black people are being affected by
Have you gone
undocumented,
into those
citizens.
communities to
Yes,
see
I have. Yeah.
which ones have you gone into?
I work with some people in
Which
Compton.
one
I
have
work
you
back
gone
in
into?
New Jersey and
What
Camden.
community have you gone into to see for yourself that blacks are
Compton
being forced
here.
out? No, that's not true. That is really not true. You're not being honest. I know hundreds of people who have left Compton, been attacked by illegal aliens because of illegal aliens. So you're not telling the truth. Give me one that I haven't gone into yet.
Okay.
Because you're not being honest
Again,
about that one.
This is
Are
my
you an honest
experience.
person?
My experience versus your
Are
experience.
you an honest person?
You understand that there's a difference.
Are you an
Would
honest
you like me
person?
to describe the actual reality, or do
I
you
know
want to
the
have
reality.
Okay, but
I've been
that's
there.
your personal.
I've been out here since
That's your
1968.
feelings, but those
no.
are your feelings.
I've been there. I live down there. I work down there. But people come here from there. Those are not feelings.
Okay.
Do you operate from feelings?
No, I try. I think that everyone operates both from feelings and also by
I don't.
rational thought.
Why do you think everyone? Men don't do that.
Oh, men don't do that?
No,
How
no.
do men operate?
From logic.
Freedom. Oh.